How's it going, my evil residents? Today we're going to take a look at all of the maps in Black Ops 2 Zombies, and we're going to rank them worst to best subjectively, as I firmly believe there is no objective way to rank Zombies maps completely objectively. It is nearly impossible, so I'm not even going to try to do that. This is going to be a completely subjective list. And with that said, which maps are we including? We are including all the survival maps, Bus Depot, Town, and Farm, but I am not including the Grief or Turned maps because they're not the quote-unquote typical Zombies experience. So it didn't feel super fair to include them. I know it's kind of unfair to include a map like Bus Depot in the same list as Origins, but those are the parameters I set, so, just deal with it. Anyways, I won't waste any more of your time. Let's get right into the video.
I just woke up in a fucking steaming mood, yeah? Because I live in a shithole!
In last place, we have Bus Depot. I can't think of a single person that likes Bus Depot. I can think of a lot of people that like Transit or something like that, or Dirise or Nuketown Zombies. I have never heard a single living, breathing soul say, I think Bus Depot is a really good map. Because it's not. It is boring. It has the worst layout of any survival map I've ever played, or Nocturne and Totem, and we're talking bare bones survival maps, okay? Where it's like, you get a gun, you get a mystery box, and you get some pants, and that's all you got. You don't got anything else. Even Noct offers you slightly more than this map does with Mule Kick. But who buys Mule Kick on Noct? How do you do that? You only buy it because you have extra points. I know you. With survival maps like that, it is crucial to have a fun map layout and to have an interesting map layout. Bus Depot does not. It is a empty circle with a fallen over semi-truck in it and a rock in it. It is not interesting, and it spawns so many flaming zombies in such a cramped area to train. And the clearest area to train, if you go too deep into it, it just fogs your screen as you're going back into the zombies, preventing you from being able to see. It's annoying. It's boring. That is the worst crime here. Bus Depot is boring. On a map or on a game with all of these incredible maps on it, why am I going to play Bus Depot? There's nothing here. I would literally rather go play Nocturne and Totem or Groston House or something like that that doesn't have any perks like this map does, because the map layout is more interesting. It's just more satisfying and more fun to train on. Literally an empty gray room with a radio in it and a hole in the wall is more interesting to look at and to play in than a bus stop. I rest my case there. I've ranted long enough about Bus Depot. I've ranted longer about Bus Depot than you've probably ever spent playing Bus Depot in your life. So I'm just gonna move on.
Professor, it is time to bid your toy soldiers auf Wiedersehen.
Next up, in 8th place, this is probably gonna get me cooked by any transit minions in the chat. I'm glad you guys like this map. I can't. This map just genuinely infuriates me at every single turn. It is Transit. The fog, I'm fine with. The lava, I am mostly fine with. The Avogadro, I am fine with. What I am not fine with is the denizens, but that is honestly not this map's biggest crime. This map's biggest crime, in my opinion, is two things. The actual problem and the fix put in to make the problem feel less like a problem. Both of those things are what infuriate me about this map. One, the bus. Oh my god. The bus, the amount of pure rage the bus has caused me has probably shortened my lifespan by years. And if you don't use the bus, it is just boring, running, staring at a turbine, knifing denizens. It's not even that challenging. It's just boring and tedious, and I don't want to do it. It's not engaging at all. It's just stupid. And then the fix they put in, I know what somebody's already typing, but you can teleport with the denizens below the lit up street lamps. They're random teleports. That is more annoying than the bus, because sometimes you'll warp somewhere, and unless you have literally perfect map knowledge, or like the map like the back of your hand, you're like Lucario Project's little apprentice. No shade to him, of course, just a joke. Unless you're like Lucario Project's apprentice and he personally trained you how to spot transit by the individual pixel, unless you've been trained that well by Lucario, you will not know at all where you are half the time unless you teleport really, really closely to a location, like a main location. It's a huge pain. Sure, it's gonna help you, but it just as often as it helps you, it's going to be a pain. And it's the same thing with the bus. Either it's running on the track you need to backtrack to go get onto it, it leaves too soon, it won't leave when you need it to. Everything is just so unreliable and annoying and tedious about this map. I just don't want to play it. Like, I don't have the patience for this map. If you have the patience for this map, honestly, mad respect. I cannot do it. I have no patience for the amount of time that this map, one, wants me to put in to understand all of its mechanics, and two, the time it wants me to put in to actually, like, play the map like I would play a regular zombies map, instead of running around pointlessly, not even killing zombies, just literally running to go somewhere. I already don't like that on maps like Origins that are way smaller than this map. Like, running back to the trenches, I'm like, oh my goodness. Let's say you blow up the jet gun and you can't pick up all the parts in time. I'm turning the game off. Well, I'm not building the jet gun again. Like, I already spent like 15 minutes of my life, 20, 30 minutes of my life, if I don't remember where all the pieces are, or I get lost, to go find all these pieces. And that is why this map is just so ass. If you understand every single little thing about the map, how to counter every single little quirk, little tick, little problem with the map, it can be fun. It can be fun. But the amount of learning and time and patience all of that takes, I don't think that's worth it. And I know I've been ranting about transit for I don't even know how long, but I really want to make a point of, it's not stuff like the lava that bothers me. It's not stuff like the denizens that bother me. It's not even the fact that you have to build the pack-a-punch or the jet gun that bother me. I'm fine with all those mechanics. They work on other maps. It's the fact that everything is so far, and this map is just so incredibly talented at wasting my fucking time. Days feel shorter. Days feel shorter than when I was 13 years old. I don't want to be running around a brownish gray blob for 10 minutes of my life to get a wonder weapon that I have to take a freaking Jet Gun 101 to learn how to use. It's not worth it. It's not fun. It's fun for 5 minutes. I can go get more 5 minutes of fun on any other map in this game besides Bus Depot and just not waste my time. And for that, Transit goes at number 8, because while it has redeeming qualities, it can be fun. Some of the most fun I've had in Black Ops 2 Zombies is just chilling on top of the bus and just killing things with the turret sitting in the back of the bus, or just trying to goof around with the electric trap because it sucks. Or, like, when you know how to use the jet gun. Yes, I've learned how to use the jet gun since I made my Black Ops 2 Zombies weapons ranked video. I know I broke it immediately in that video. I've learned how to use it, and, like, it's just not fun. It's not worth it, okay? So, Transit goes at 8. I've rested my case.
It's our town, everybody scream. This town of Hollow.
In 7th place, we have the Town Survival Map. I know this is most people's favorite, but, okay, this is the first of 2 placements on this list that are going to get me absolutely hooked by people in the comments, and I'm completely aware of it. I completely understand, and your guys' opinions are valid. However, what I like in a survival map is irrelevant of whether or not the map has Pack-a-Punch. What I like in a survival map is the layout fun. Yes. Does it have perks? And if it doesn't have perks, is the layout that good? That's kind of the survival maps. I log in, I want to kill stuff. I just want to kill stuff for as long as I can. Yeah, Pack-a-Punch can lengthen that, but none of the survival maps in this game have an infinite damage wonder weapon, so it doesn't play as much of a factor, because the main wonder weapon for high rounds on all of the survival maps is the Ray Gun Mark II. So it's about the same high round potential on literally any map, but this one and the one above it have perks. And I just don't care about the Pack-a-Punch on Town. Like, yeah, it's there, it's cool, it makes the middle rounds easier, but I don't really care that much. Like, I'm playing a survival map, I'm not trying to min-max on a survival map. I know there's people that do, and they probably will place Town higher. They just want to get to as high a round as possible. But I just want to log in, I just want to kill stuff till I die. And Town, the main problem I have with it is how much lava there is on it. I don't mind the lava as much on Transit as I do on Town, but the lava on Town, while it does take away from the layout, Town's layout, it's just so good that it still goes above Transit because it's more fun, because I really like the layout of Town. But the lava is so irritating on this map in particular. On Bus Depot, it's barely a problem. Transit, you'll work around it. It's part of the Transit experience. But Town, yeah, you could say it's part of the town experience, but genuinely, I think town would be so much more fun if there was just no lava cracks on it. So that's why I ranked it below the one I put above this. And speaking of which, let's move on to that one.
I don't care what you believe. Everybody just calm down. Get him off my land.
In 6th place, we have Farm. Farm is my favorite survival map in Black Ops 2 Zombies. In history, it's top 3. I love Farm. Farm is so freaking underrated. It's got the 4 main perks and a mystery box. That's all I want in a survival map. And it has a bomb-ass layout. You can train in a difficult spot, backed by the fences, or you can train in the easy spot, you know, by the semi-truck, right in the middle. It has those two, like, do you want the easy or hard experience? It has the perks if you want them, but you can ignore them if you want to play without perks. The only thing it's missing is Pack-a-Punch, but I already said that I don't care too much about Pack-a-Punch on survival maps, so I don't care. I don't care that it's not there. If I want to get to high rounds, I'll go grab the Ray Gun Mark II and an MP5. Same thing I do in all the other survival maps, so the Pack-a-Punch doesn't matter to me. Just, Farm is just, it's so fun. I can't really put into good words why I find Farm so fun. Actually, you know what? I can. It doesn't have lava cracks in the main training spot that I use, so my vision isn't just randomly blurred. It has the exploding zombies from the lava, but they're not as much of an issue because of how the map is laid out. You can get away from them easier than you can on like Bus Depot. On Town, you can get away from them pretty easily, but you'll run into another lava crack and it obscures your vision anyway. It's like, oh, okay, whatever. But on Farm, it's more chill to play. It's more like tranquil to play. And that's what I want in a survival map. Like, I'm not trying to go in, I'm not trying to like sweat. I'm going in, kill some zombies, turn on some freaking music, and just chill. You know, brain off, kill zombies. Farm is so perfect for that. And that's why it goes in 6th place. Because while objectively, it's not as good as any like more robust zombies map, it's just so fun that I can't put it lower. I can't put it lower.
Now I am become death, the destroyer of worlds. In
5th place, we have Nuketown Zombies. This map is the one that turned Nuketown Zombies, I firmly believe, is the map. If you want to like get good at zombies, play Nuketown Zombies. This is the one that's gonna clench you up. It's gonna not give you jug until round 15, so you gotta be like on your toes. You gotta be freaking checking every single corner. You gotta be on it on Nuketown Zombies all the time. You gotta be aware because both of the training spots on like either side, either house. By the way, let me know which house in the comments you train in on Nuketown Zombies. I'm a blue houser, but if you're a yellow houser, that's fine. Just let me know. You train at yellow house or blue house in Nuketown Zombies, and let me know why. I'm blue house gang. If you're yellow house gang, let me know why. If you're blue house gang, just say oorah or something in the comments, and it'll be a funny little game. Nuketown Zombies turns boys into men. This is the quote, the YouTuber that shall not be named that was recently outed as not a good person. It's the combat training of zombies. And that's literally the best way to put it, and that's the only reason I'm quoting him. It's so good. It's so good for that, but also it's not so incredibly hard that you're just not going to learn, or that it's not fun. It just strikes a perfect difficulty balance of the other maps are too easy for you. This cranks it up to like 7 or 8. Not quite 10, like something like Origins or Mob for training, but it's so good. This map is just so good for learning zombies, getting the hang of zombies after you've already been introduced to zombies. And that's why I put it like in the middle of the list at number 5, because it's fun. It's not overly challenging, but it's a good challenge, and I really like that. It doesn't quite hit the spot where it's going to be like one of the like premier zombies experiences, but it's also not just some throwaway survival map. It's the middle ground. So that's why I put it in the middle of my list. I hope that makes sense. In 4th place, we have Dirise. I want to stress this. If I made this list 2 months ago, Dirise would be at the fucking bottom. I was a certified Dirise hater. If you brought up Dirise, I would literally start screaming and like rolling on the floor like that one Pickle Rick video. That would be me. I would be that Pickle Rick person. I hated Dirise. If you like me in a room and like if Jigsaw kidnapped me and said, chop off your arm or play Dirise to escape the bathroom, I would chop off my arm. That's how much I hated Dirise. I'm not even exaggerating. Like, you brought up Dirise, I would just side-eye you. I would give you the dirtiest look imaginable. But since making my Black Ops 2 weapons ranked video, I got to like, I I was dreading. This was the last one I recorded. I booted up Dirise. I'm like, oh my god, I'm gonna go build a liquefier on round 2, and then I gotta get to at least like round 18 so nobody says that I'm bad in my footage. And then before I knew it, I was like, I just kind of zoned out playing Dirise after I got all set up, which didn't take as long as I thought it would, which was another reason I was like, oh, okay. Got all set up playing Dirise. I had my trample steam set up in one specific area to like prevent zombies from coming from that spot. I had my liquefier. I had all my perks. I had the Who's Who jingle going in the background because I was training right next to it. I was having a freaking blast, dude. I was having so much fun just training on Dirise in that little room. Oh my god, that was the most fun I've had in zombies in literally years. Like, it was just such a good time. I can't even put the words. Like, I got to like round 40. I was like, and it was like my 3rd, 4th time playing. I died a couple times because, you know, haha, I'm a pleb. But, and then I just thought to myself, I'm like, why didn't I realize sooner how fun this map is once you're set up? And it's because the setup process is so different from any other zombies map, and the layout is so obtusely different than any other zombies map. It's such a specific flavor. It's like that sauce in the fridge that only your dad likes, that nobody else in the house eats. That's Dirise. Your dad is going to eat that sauce till he dies. Like, he's not going to touch another sauce. Everyone else in the family is like, why are you eating that? I finally tried that sauce, like, as it should be enjoyed. It was just good. And if you're someone that despises Dirise, first off, I completely understand. I despised it for years. But I urge you, give it one more try and do this. Go get set up, get whatever perks you feel like, build the trample steam, build the liquefier. I usually grab the AN94, but grab the SVU if you want. Grab whatever you want, honestly, for your other gun. Just make sure you have the liquefier. Go train in the room with the trample steam and leave the door to Who's Who closed. Train right there. Train in that little room. Guaranteed, it's gonna be incredible. If you're like at least halfway decent at zombies, it's not too hard, and it's just so much fun. It is so, like, it's such a unique area to train, but it has such a good flow with where the zombies spawn that it's just nice. It just works. It's so good. I know I just fucking quoted Todd Howard. Oh my god. Oh my god. But Todd Howard's right. It just works. Okay? It just works. So that I'm putting Dirise at 4. I know. I'm cooked in the comments. This isn't the one that you guys are gonna cook me for, okay? But yeah. Dirise goes at 4th. 2 months ago, I would have put Dirise last, but here it is. Here it frickin' is. I'm back, bitch. That's what Dirise said.
Beat up the biggest guy on the first day to assert dominance. Beat up the...
In 3rd place, we have Mob of the Dead, and I can't believe I'm putting this on the internet. People are gonna cook me. Greg FPS, if he sees this video, is absolutely gonna decimate me. Oh my god. Okay, hear me out. Hear me out. I am very much someone that does not like to... I like setups in zombies, but I don't like when there's absolutely no variation to that setup whatsoever. And Mob of the Dead is the definition of that. It's like the same exact setup process every single game. And on top of that, every time you want to pack a punch, every single time you want to pack a punch, every single time, you gotta do a mini version of that. You have to do a mini whole map setup just to pack a punch again. And honestly, that one mechanic, I fucking hate that. I hate that there's so little variation in the map setup. There is variation in which dog you want to do first and second and third and stuff like that. Getting the Redeemer is pretty free flow for when you want to get that. Same with getting the free Blundergat. But the thing is, just going in, shocking the panels, going Afterlife, shock the panels, going Afterlife, shock the panels. I don't find it that interesting. I don't find it fun. It's just like something I gotta do to play the map, and it's like, okay, it's a cool world building device, and I fully acknowledge Mob of the Dead is a fantastic map. It is a great map. As far as I'm concerned, the space between 3 and 4 on this list is astronomical. There should be like a 10-minute empty gap in the video for other theoretical maps to go. Mob of the Dead it's a great map. It is an 8 out of 10, 9 out of 10 map. I'm fully aware of that. But the setup of this map, I don't find it interesting at all. Whereas the top 2 maps on this list, I love the setups of them. I think they're some of the most fun parts of the map, and then they're still fun after you do the setup. The reason Mob falls at 3rd is not because it's necessarily worse than those 2. I don't like the gameplay loop as much. I'm not saying it's objectively worse. I just don't like the tedium of it. Whereas Buried and Origins, they don't feel as tedious to me at all. They could feel as tedious depending how you play them. But that's the thing. Those two maps give you more choice in the setup of what you want to do. Mob does not. You do the same exact thing every single game. And while the thing you do in every single game is incredibly fun, I don't come back to it as much as I do those two maps, because those two maps offer me a little more variety in what I want to do. So if I boot up Origins, I can be like, I'm just gonna go in and get this staff. I'm gonna go in, I'm gonna build whatever 2 staffs I get the parts for first. I'm not gonna do any staffs this time. Or I'm gonna build all the freaking staffs, and then I build all the staffs, I'm gonna do Easter egg, and then I die. But I'll talk about that more when I talk about Origins. But with Mob, it's like, okay, I spawn in, I go one by one to open up all the electric things. As I'm doing this, I feed the dogs, and the only choice I really have in what I do first is, which dog do I want to do first? Do I want to do the dog in the cafeteria? Do I want to do the dog in the cell block area first? Or do I want to wait, and do I want to do the doc's dog first, and then do the other 2 later when I have Jug? That's the only really, essentially, that's the only choice in the setup of the map that I really feel has value. And then you can also game the setup by just spawning a ton of zombies for the laundry step, which once you know that, you can get set up so early and just get it out of the way, which is honestly, oh my god, I'm so glad that's a feature. I feel like I'm rambling at this point, and I've made my point. If you want me to clarify something further in the comments, please let me know. I will be happy to do so. I just want to reiterate, Mob is not a bad map. This map is absolutely fantastic. The atmosphere, the lore, the characters, the ambiance, the wonder weapons, oh my god, they're all incredible. This map is just oozing with charisma, and it's so tightly designed, and it's very well designed. That design that it has, it's just not what I like in zombies as much as I like variety and setup. So for that, Mob of the Dead, it's 3rd place. Yes, I know, someone's gonna cook me. That's honestly totally fine. You're welcome to your own opinion. I'm glad you like that, and like, there's nothing wrong with liking it. I just like more variety in intro setups, and this top 3 is just so freaking close. I couldn't put this in like it would have gone in 2nd place. I couldn't put it in 2nd place. In 2nd place, we have Buried. Okay. Now, I know people are gonna come at me with since I put Mob in 3rd place, they're gonna come at me with, but with Buried, you gotta open up every single door with Leroy. No, that is not true. You open 2 doors, like minimum 1 door. You need to open 1 door with Leroy. That minimum 1. And that is the door to Pack Punch. You can get almost everywhere else on the map without touching Leroy once. I'm not kidding. I'm not exaggerating at all. Especially if you have the wonder weapon, there's like a couple places you can't get. I don't think you can. No, you can get back up to Quick Revive. People just forget that this map has tunnels everywhere on the outside of the map. People just forget that. Like, you don't need Leroy to open up every single thing in the map. But if you do, you don't. First off, you don't have to open all of them. I don't open all of them. There's 2 that I don't open every single game. I won't open sometimes. Sometimes I won't open it. It depends what I'm doing. I won't open the barriers by the candy shop sometimes. And then the one by the wall by chalk, like wall area where you get all the chalk drawings. The one to that, I open every time. But the one next to it with like that weird like L-shaped like nothing area in there, I never open that, literally ever. I don't know anyone that does, unless you are really hard up for points. But for people that are like, yeah, you go down around 1, you open up the whole map of Leroy, and it takes like 10 minutes. You don't have to do that. And also, there's no rush to open the map. Like, that's the difference with, I know I already talked loads about Mob of the Dead, but that's the difference between Buried and Mob of the Dead. With Mob of the Dead, I have to do all those things if I want to do the basic feature of pack-a-punching. Whereas with Buried, all I gotta do 1 time. I gotta use Leroy literally twice. No, I gotta use Leroy literally twice to get to Pack-a-Punch. That's it. that is so simple, that's so straightforward. I don't understand why that's such like I don't understand why that's such a hang up for people. Because one, the setup is much easier. Two, it's still engaging because you can min-max how many points you get with Leroy by going for like distance trick shots and just aiming everything. You can choose to just get as many points as possible by getting the free booze every round to open up everything, or you can just do it all at once and spend the money on booze and lose a little money. There's different ways to open the map, and I can do whatever I feel like for what I need to do. I don't have any money in the bank. Okay, I'll just open the doors one by one and get more points and then put them in the bank. I want everything opened as soon as possible because I'm trying to like do like a round 5 pack-a-punch challenge or a round 2 pack-a-punch challenge. Open everything right now. And Leroy is so fun on this map. The amount of stuff he can do. He can hold the zombie for you. He can hold down the mystery box. He can help you fight zombies. He helps you open the map. He's just so cool. And this, I haven't talked too much about Easter eggs so far because I haven't really talked about too many maps that have Easter eggs besides like Dirise, of the Dead, and then I've literally never played Transit's Easter egg, so I'm kind of unqualified to talk about that. I'm not a huge Easter egg player. I like the lore of zombies, but I don't do too many Easter eggs. I've done most of them, but the main reason I don't is because I just don't. I play by myself most of the time, and most of the time solo Easter eggs are just super tedious and annoying, so I just don't do them. I'd rather just play the map kind of vanilla-ish, if that makes sense. There's some Easter eggs I really love, though. Buried, if I'm going to do a multiplayer Easter egg, I'm going to do Buried. Berries is super duper fun. Yeah, it's hard, and a couple of the steps really suck, but stuff like the sharpshooter step, just ending on like round infinity on I think the Maxis ending, so cool. Just such good ideas, such unique concepts. People praise Mob for all these unique concepts, but people forget how many unique, fun gameplay mechanics and story elements Buried has. It is just as atmospheric and cool as Mob of the Dead, just in a completely different way. It's not as oppressive. It's a little more in the background, and once you get to the Easter egg, the elements really shine through, and just the world building of the town is just so good. I just love Buried. It's the high round strat is really fun and it's really stupid, and then the Easter egg is so good. The map setup has so much variety in how you can approach it and how much of it you actually want to do. You can do very little setup on this map, like no more than you would on Ascension for doing the lander. Same deal here. The witches are really cool. There's no obnoxious special zombie. The buildables are all in one convenient buildable room that you don't even have to open if you don't want to use them. Wonder Weapon is so unique and a little annoying to use, but it's so cool. I just love Buried. Buried is so cool. I understand why people don't like Buried, because it either feels too easy in the early game or super punishing for high rounds. And I totally get that. If you're a high round player or you're an Easter egg player that doesn't like Easter eggs that are like really hard, completely understand. I completely understand why you wouldn't like this map. But if you're someone that criticizes this map's setup, if you're someone that criticizes this map's like setting and its place in the story, I'm sorry. I don't get it. Like, total respect for your opinion, that's fine. I don't understand those criticisms at all. Buried is stellar, it's so good, and it places my number 2 spot. In first place, we have Origins. Now, this and Mob of the Dead are usually what fight for people's first spots in zombies. The reason I put Origins in first place is because I think zombies took more elements from Origins going forward than it did and just ran with them and made them really good and fleshed out. Origins works better as a base to build off for future maps than any other Black Ops 2 maps does. But just speaking of the map on its own, it introduced one of the most balanced boss zombies of all time with the Panzer Soldat. If you're not paying attention to him, he's going to nuke you. If you're on top of him, you will nuke him. It's that simple. And I think that is incredibly well balanced. Either he's going to destroy you or you're going to destroy him. And I think that's balanced because he will catch you off guard sometimes. Sometimes you just won't be looking for him. You won't hear the siren. You won't be ready. That's how it is. And I think that's more balanced than there's nothing you can do about this boss. He's just slow. Or this guy just has a lot of health. Okay, brief Black Ops 3 Origins rant. Why is the Panzer suck so fucking bad in Black Ops 3 Origins? Why is he so shitty? He has way too much health. Most of the fucking guns don't do anything to him. His tracking is just stupid. He's so fucking bad in Black Ops 3. It sends me into a rage how bad Panzer is in Black Ops 3. But anyways, back to Black Ops 2. It innovated the concept of the 4 elemental wonder weapon, just whole like concept. Yeah, you could say they came up with it in Shangri-La, but they didn't put it in the map. So honestly, for most intents and purposes, who cares? They didn't put it in the map, so it's not an innovation. It's on paper there. Yeah, they had the idea. They didn't do it. Origins did it, and oh my god, are all of these wonder weapons so fun and satisfying to use? Unless you're talking about like really like out there uses, like if you're going for super high rounds, or basically if you're going for super high rounds, then some of the staffs clearly outweigh the others. But aside from high rounds, just like a regular like casual-ish game of zombies, they're all going to serve you well. They're all going to be fun, and it literally comes down to which one you prefer up until a certain point, like around like 40 or so. At that point, then yeah, there are some objectively better ones, which I think honestly that's fine, because the ones that are objectively better in the high rounds are usually not the ones that you're going to be using for Easter eggs. So I think that's fine. That's totally fine with me. I'm fine with how imbalanced but also balanced the staffs are, in the fact that like high round ones are good for high rounds. Ones that aren't good for high rounds are always really good at something else. So I'm totally fine with that. I think the staffs are very well balanced, more balanced than the bows and Dirise Jack, but that is a topic for another day when I talk about Dirise Jack. That is just such a cool concept for a wonder weapon, just having each wonder weapon for a unique player, and people always fight about which one they want, or either that or they just know who's getting which one. And that's honestly just as fun, because it builds camaraderie with your friends, and you're like, oh, we know what staffs we want. We're cool like that. It's just such good fun. And if you're playing solo, it's a really fun challenge to just build all 4 of them. It's like, yeah, I'm gonna build all 4 of them and do the Easter egg. Yeah, I have a huge penis. That's how cool I am. I can build all 4 staffs and do the Easter egg all by myself. Yeah. Yeah, I can. If you're one of those people, it's got that for you. This map has challenge. It can be really easy depending on how you play it. Camp in wind tunnel with ice staff, get to whatever fucking round you want. This map just has so much variety in how you can play it. And this is another map when people criticize Origins. They're like, the setup process is tedious. All you have to do on this map, keep 6 generators alive, which is just running in a circle in a different location than you would be running in a circle anyway, so why do you care? And you don't have to build all the staffs. If you complain that you have to build all the staffs to set up, no, you don't. You only have to build 1 staff. You can only build 1. Or you can build none of them. The Reagan Mark II is on this map, and that'll still get you to high rounds by itself. You also have the Boom Hilda that will get you to high rounds. There's plenty of options on this map. You also have the G strikes, by the way, and the fists. Incredible side Easter eggs. The Maxis drone, getting the MG08 side quest. So many cool side quests on this map, and it really brought back that really cool side quest element to zombies. Yeah, Mob brought it back a little bit with the Golden Spork and the Hell's Retriever, but Origins just takes it a little bit further, and it sets those side Easter eggs as more map relevant and gameplay relevant, while not being essential to the map, unless you're doing the Easter egg, which I think that's honestly fine. Like, you have to get everything for the Easter egg. I think it helps pull the map together a little more, and it makes the Easter egg really feel like you triumphed over the map, which brings more of like a warranted feeling of satisfaction to that game end. Because in other zombies maps, the Easter egg is not as intensive in features to warrant that game end, but with Origins, you've done everything on the map once the game ends, and you don't even have to end the game. One of your Easter egg rewards is that the walls are lifted in one of the most open and free training spots, in one of the most open and free training spots in COD Zombies history. You can just train there after doing the whole Easter egg, and that's such a cool reward. And not enough people talk about that, by the way. If you want to train down there with the staff, you can do the Easter egg. Yeah, it's hard, but it's a unique reward, and it's really cool. Or you can just end the game because you did everything in the map. That's honestly really cool. I love when an Easter egg really makes you feel like you've really mastered the map, like you've shown the map who's boss, and Origins is really good at that. Yeah, it feels like an uphill battle, but that's because it is an uphill battle. In the lore, they've never faced any of this stuff before. It works with the lore of the game. It's fun. It's obviously funny. is obviously it being fun is completely subjective. If you don't like super challenging zombies maps, totally fine, totally fine. But yeah, I just love everything about Origins. I love the ambiance, I love the setting, the rebooted characters. Honestly, weakest part of it because they're all a little bit bland. By this point, Richtofen wasn't overdone, so he's the best one. The twist with Maxis is neat. Samantha's annoying as fuck, but it's fine. I can just mute dialogue and listen to music. Oh my goodness, this map is just so well put together. Like, it's a shame that the Chronicles remaster sucks so much ass. Anyway, that is gonna do it for this video. If you liked it, drop a like. If you disliked it, feel free to dislike it. AKA, dislike it if you like Mob of the Dead. I know you will. I know you will. I know you already did. It's fine. I completely understand. But please do let me know in a comment why you like Mob of the Dead so much. I would love the extra engagement. We do have channel memberships on the channel starting at 99 cents if you would like to buy me a gumball or gumball equivalent. One of those slappy things from one of those sticky slappy hand things. Those are also $1, I think. So if you would like to directly support the channel, that is the best way to do so. And thank you very much. Obviously, don't feel pressured. We do also have a Discord if you'd like to chat with me, complain to me directly, or share memes with me or other residents. That is going to do it for this video. And yeah, stay evil, my residents.